energy all the way up. Come from the bottom, now I'm blowing up. I need the energy all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. I need the energy all the way up. Come from the bottom, now I'm blowing up. I need the energy all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. I need the energy all the way up. Come from the bottom, now I'm blowing up. I need the energy all the way up, all the way up, all the way up.
The fog pouring across the Golden Gate Bridge and into the Bay Area tonight. We're just about set for action. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning into 2K Sports. We've got some NBA action for you coming up. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. And here's what the schedule for the Lakers looks like. On Saturday, they'll be matching up against Mike Conley and the Utah Jazz. And then on Wednesday, they'll go up against Devitt. And we've got time for a quick pregame report. With that being said, let's head to the sideline and our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. D.A.?
Thank you, Kevin. LeBron James is tied for the third most MVP awards all time. He's also tied for the most second-place finishes. Frank Vogel said it's a mistake to go season after season without voting the best player in the league.
They probably do, and we certainly know how LeBron feels. David, thank you. A lot of experience on the floor tonight, Greg. How does that shape what we're about to see, do you think?
Well, Kevin, guys are going to play smart, and they're going to be in position to make plays. So this could come down to just who makes more of the big shots.
And now the Lakers starting group. They've got LeBron James. Hield is out there with De'Aaron Fox. And there's Davis, and it's Lamb, and it's small forward. And for Golden State, and the old core of this team out there, Curry and Clay as guards with Draymond at 4. Turner is out there with Andrew Wiggins. Hits it from three-point range.
Anytime Curry gets a look from deep, he's letting it fly. And he's probably knocking it down, too.
And James throws it down.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish.
Part of what makes him unique, guys, is that combination of power and polish.
Distance doesn't mean a thing to Clay. He's too proficient a shooter for an extra few feet to make any difference.
Here's Davis over Green, shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. It's his first trip to the line. That free throw, no good.
You know, in this 21st century version of the NBA, just being big is not enough. Davis personifies the evolution of the big guy. He's got game from everywhere on the floor.
Here's Wiggins. And it's Green, missing. And so it's Davis. He'll bring the ball up for the Lakers. It's a 3-point game. The pass to Fox. Hield outside. Pass to Davis. Chalk up 2 there.
High percentage look that time from Anthony Davis, and that's one he rarely misses.
Here's Wiggins, and Wiggins throws it down.
Oh boy, to be young again.
Makes you nostalgic, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does make me look back a little bit, but I could never throw it down like that. But it sure does look good.
And getting after it on the offensive glass and adding to that early total.
How about early attack mode? I love the approach he's coming to this game with. Really strong.
For the Lakers, they won their last contest, that game against Portland.
And something we've seen the last few years, box and ones thrown at Curry, although they've had mixed success.
And it's Davis missing. The Warriors have gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. Here's Turner. It's hauled in by Los Angeles.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Here's Fox. That doesn't go on the chance to tie. And amazing to even consider using a box and one in the NBA, isn't it, Greg? But Curry does that with his offense to the teams that defend him.
Kevin, I agree. And it did work well in the 2019 finals. Curry has started to adjust to that look. Much harder to use when Curry has other options on offense.
And it's Davis with the jam.
There's no stopping that. AD is too long and strong to bother that alley-oop.
Here's Curry with the three. It's the three-point line. Curry's got 6 points.
Yeah, they're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
Lamb against Wiggins. LeBron kicks to Fox. Back to LeBron, and he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, the defense has to be careful with LeBron. I mean, he's a clever shooter who knows how to draw fouls. He uses his body really well.
Probably a little draft in the arena tonight. He's the last guy you expect to miss the mark by that much.
Absolutely. Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. James Wiseman, he's checked in for Miles Turner, and Kuminga's subbed in for Green. Jones checked in for the Lakers.
And, you know, this guy simply does not age. LeBron remains a dominant force in this league despite being in the league since 2003.
And the Warriors with some changes. Otto Porter Jr., he's checked in for Wiggins. Poole comes in for Thompson. And it's Payton in for Stephen Curry. The Lakers also changing it up. Gorgie Dang's checked in for LeBron. Johnson comes in for Davis. And Lance Stevenson subbed in for Jeremy Lamb. Knocks it loose. Porter with the steal. And it's the Warriors on the break. And it's Payton. That time on the assist by Wiseman.
Well, Wiseman's passing game is a work in progress, but he's smart enough to spot the wide open man there.
Pass to Stevenson. And the call on the shot sends him to the line. For those teams, Greg, that had head coaching changes, how long does it take to fully implement a new system?
Well, it typically takes a full season, and it also depends just on how complicated the system is. But all things being equal, the experienced teams often learn faster because they just understand the game better.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Reeves is checked in. Payton finds Poole.
2 minutes remaining.
And a miss there on the triple. Looking at the last game for the Golden State Warriors, it was a loss to the Clippers.
Yeah, for that loss, you can credit their defense or lack thereof. Too many breakdowns on that end of the floor.
Yeah, and that's really inexcusable. I mean, there's just no way that you can justify that. When you don't put the work in on defense, you're going to end up on the losing end.
Jang, the pass to Reeves. Clock at 6. Back to Jang from outside the arc.
And trailing here in the first, you'd like to see them be a little more aggressive on the offensive glass.
Yeah, I agree. Not a lot of activity chasing down their misses. Some teams focus on getting back, and I understand that. But you should send at least one guy after those.
Lakers trail by 5. Here's Stevenson. Count it.
Yeah, that's the kind of aggressive attitude Stevenson brings to the table. He's not going to sit back and settle for jump shots. If he can attack the basket, he will.
Porter outside. Rebound by Jang. And it's Jones with the ball for Los Angeles. Fresh from a win against Portland.
Well, it helps when your opponent makes that many mistakes. I thought that was the story of the game.
Yeah, I think that was a big part of it for sure, as it is anytime you make a bunch of mistakes. All they had to do was follow their game plan, and that's exactly what they did.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. One Toscano Anderson's checked in for Porter. Moody comes in for Poole. And it's Dragic in for Payton.
And listen, we know Wiseman has a nice outside game, but inside there aren't too many guys who can match up with him physically.
It's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession. The Lakers making a switch here. Payton's checked in. .46 seconds left to play here in the first.
Gorgie Jang doing a nice job getting the ball to the open teammate there. Nicely done.
And stolen by Jang. Here's Reeves. He's guarded by Dragic. Passes it to Stevenson. Shot clock at 6. Here's Payton. Drives to the hoop. And he banks in the layup.
Good presence of mind there by Payton. Whenever he sees an opening to the basket, he doesn't hesitate at all.
Nuggets looking it over. Wiseman. And stolen by Jang. Here's Reeves. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Here's Wiseman. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. And at the end of one, both teams putting up some points. Lakers lead by 1. Stay with us as we get set to bring you the second quarter right after this. And we all know the great LeBron James can do it all. But he says he doesn't have to for his team to be successful.
There's no pressure for none of us to score. There's no pressure for anyone.
Well, and the way this roster is composed with Anthony Davis and all these veterans around, everyone able to play their part.
And play their role. As LeBron gets older, he's going to choose his spots and look for ways to make his teammates better.
Lance Stevenson. Free ball.
Some good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after the first quarter of play. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for Los Angeles?
You know, guys, we've really seen them do a lot of damage in the paint so far.
And they've also gotten a big boost in the early going tonight with their productivity at the free throw line. Really a sign of aggression.
In a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. So the Lakers 5 right now. James Johnson is out there with Lance Stevenson. Then there's Peyton. Then it's Gorgie Dang. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Thank you, Kevin. Klay Thompson has lost 2 prime years to a torn ACL and then a ruptured Achilles. He says so many athletes have been through this. It's just a new set of challenges. With my style of play, I feel I can be effective till my late 30s. I plan on being the all-NBA player I was and won't settle for anything less. Guys, that will be a great comfort to his team.
Indeed.